We talk about and we joke around about having a little dog in you.
On a previous episode of Big Boy Pants Golf, I talked about, and I wasn't joking, having the dog in me. And after you see today's episode, you're not going to wonder if I have the dog in me. You're going to wonder how many rabid pit bulls I have in me. It got ferocious real quick, but I kept my head on a swivel, and I think you're really going to enjoy this episode. Brooks Koepka has just won the PGA Championship, and there's been a paradigm shift in the golf ecosystem. I see this factoid about Michael Block moving up 3,003 spots in the now defunct and for a long time defunct OWGR, and now he's 577th in the world. To add context to Michael Block's tied for 15th and huge leap up in the OWGR, I used Eddie Pepperell and his 2022 Irish Open ranking as a reference point. So here's the actual tweet. Michael Block now 577 in the OWGR. For reference, that is 13 spots higher than Pepperell Eddie after the 2022 Irish Open, and Eddie is considered a touring pro. Some of you will ask me why I chose Twitter violence. But to be honest, I thought nothing of this tweet. It would just go largely ignored and we'd all move on with our lives. And then I woke up to the fact that Eddie Pepperell himself comments with, "So, what you've done here to score a point is ignore, say, the period in 2019 where I was around 30th in the world and presumably Michael wasn't. Of course, I was considered a touring pro then too. That's the thing with pro golf. It's hard. Being on Twitter isn't." I guess me using the phrase considered a touring pro stung a little to Eddie. He reacted to it. But you're going to see in the upcoming exchanges that I actually disagree with being on Twitter is easy. I also think that Eddie doesn't truly appreciate how hard it is to be a successful Twitter troll. But wait, there's more. Suddenly, James Robinson Golf, the golf YouTuber with 240,000 or so subscribers, pops up to sound off. So here is James Robinson Golf saying, "Wouldn't worry too much, not many people see it," laughing, smiling face, crying, and then he posts Big Boy Pants Golf, only 3.87 thousand subscribers. And it was at this moment I knew I was going to destroy James Robinson Golf on Twitter in front of Eddie Pepperell, watching helplessly from the sidelines. I'm sorry you had to see this, Eddie Pepperell. And here's my response to James Robinson Golf. James, is today the day you finally find the perfect driver? Your channel is like Gilligan's Island of golf YouTube. Every episode, they can't get off the island. Every episode, you can't find the perfect driver that lasts through to the next episode. Charles Lishman jumps in with, "Eddie is a legend, a people's pro. That's a distraction." I go with, "You're not wrong, my bad. I have an English buddy in the Vegas area. He always fancies some Bants. Sadly, it seems, Bants is no longer fancied by some Brits. Sign of the times, I guess." Fun fact for all of you at home, especially the UK crowd. I'm going to start a new segment called Fancy Some Bants with Big Boy Pants Golf. If you want to be in an episode and you're British or can do a good British accent, hit me up at bigboypantsgolf@gmail.com. Now let's get back to this Twitter beef. Chris Rodriguez asks, why even post this? Why celebrate Michael's success by pathetically diminishing Eddie's? This is pathetic. And here's where I truly show that I have the dog in me. Don't hate the tweet or hate the Twitter game. Now, when is Pepperell Eddie going to be on an episode of Fancy Some Bants on Big Boy Pants Golf, YouTube's hottest golf channel? So yes, I am serious about Fancy Some Bants with Big Boy Pants Golf. I never put anything on Twitter I don't mean. But what's interesting moving forward is how many random dudes come out like white knights trying to defend Eddie Pepperell when this is basically that movie with Mel Gibson, The Patriot, where right now it's just between me and James Robinson. We're the only two dudes on the battlefield, and we have to find our way to each other so that we can finish this Twitter beef mano y mano. Cricket, as in Crit Kitney, states, "Golf is really hard. Thank you, Captain Obvious. You guys are all amazing the way you play. I don't care which tour you play on. And I have no idea who this Big Boy Pants is, but this take is pants. It's not Big Boy Pants. It's Big Boy Pants Golf, as in Bond, James Bond, same cadence. Put some respect on that name. Now it's just more dudes jumping in here. Eddie, no one cares about world rankings now. Since Live, it's become null and void, mate. But you'll always be ranked number 1 in my book from Paul Crampton. We've all heard of pick me girls, but now we know that there are pick me Eddie guys also on Twitter. Now this other guy jumps in and says that he's going to bet on Eddie Pepperell for the Dutch Open. So I look up Eddie's odds. He's plus 4,200. So I just let the guy know. The good thing is if you bet 100 pounds, you'll only lose 100 pounds.
Yup.
The last guy I'm going to deal with before moving on to James Robinson is Dara O'Malley. This is so disrespectful. No idea who this fool is, but definitely a Yank. You looking for Bants, mate? Why don't you pitch up for the Ryder Cup, where we like to play Spank the Yanks? It's a brilliant game. I looked at his photo. First question that comes to mind, do you have frosted tips? NSYNC was a long time ago. This ends with Dara O'Malley saying, I tell you what, pal, you bring that big, loud-ass American mouth of yours this side of the pond, and I promise you'll leave here black and blue. Fact, no guns. At this point, I'm not sure if I should be fancying any more Bants. Folks at home, get in the comment section and let me know, do you in this situation continue to fancy Bants? Anyhow, let's get back to me and James Robinson. James Robinson responds to my Gilligan's analogy with, that's cool, lads, because I've literally never heard of you. James Robinson Golf, I don't see how you think ignorance is a form of dunking on someone. I remember in grade school having to do a report on Robert H. Goddard. Maybe you've never heard of him either, but he was the father of modern rockets. So just because you've never heard of them, you're ignorant, doesn't mean they're not doing great things. Also, James, you have heard of me, and I have the receipt to prove it. The receipt can be found within the comment section of the video you recently shot 1 month ago with Peter Finch. Usually Peter Finch is the needy guy in all his videos. You went on to this episode on Peter Finch's channel and showed that you could out-needy him. It was truly amazing, and I put it in the comments section. And mate, you responded. So I respond to James Robinson Golf with, James, can I send you my perfect driver bill? Every episode I watch of yours, I realize my current driver is rubbish, not perfect, and I immediately go and buy the perfect driver you recommend. At least start a perfect driver GoFundMe. Cheers, mate. James Robinson Golf coming back with, I've never seen such a perfect bite from someone who's put out a tweet to try and get attention in the first place. So easy. At Eddie Pepperell, making you look like a fool. James digs himself into a hole he can't get out of with the next line. If you want, I'll teach you how to make a title that gets more than a classroom of eyeballs. Cheers, mate. Wait for it. Eddie, just to let you know, I'm sorry, via James Robinson's latest thumbnail. James Robinson responds, that video has more views than your whole channel, mate, and is a day old. Laughing, crying, smiley face. What is your point? Are British people unable to see when someone has the dog in them? Some people are colorblind. Are British people dog in me blind? Me to James. James, even Eddie is trying to wave you off the Twitter pitch right now. He gets it. You like him. We like him. But there are levels to this Twitter game. James Robinson Golf. I'll leave you to it then, mate, with your levels. Any Smack Talk 101 course is going to teach you how to effectively use there are levels to this game. You can use it in a ton of situations. For example, your wife tells you to do the dishes. Go over to the dishes, say, there are levels to this game, and walk away. You'll never have to do the dishes again. Lad Golf, surprisingly, sides with Big Boy Pants Golf, even though I thought maybe Lad Golf would side with James Robinson Golf because it's a whole British lad connection. Lad Golf writes, come on, James, How many times have you publicly criticized people for digging you out on social media? That support tweet, in my humble opinion, loads of people out there with relatively low followers that are making credible points and content. James Robinson Golf responds, not many of them digging out golf pros just for clicks though. Here is when I point out the obvious. I respond with, yes, what a wasted opportunity. Apparently it works. We end this Twitter beef with me tweeting, my not overly inside takeaway from this. Perfect driver just for clicks good. Digging out golf pros bad. And I just thought everyone fancied some bants on a slow Monday. James Robinson Golf tweets, I'm here for it to be fair. Have a good week. Did you really think this was going to have a happy ending? In all seriousness, there's a lot lost in translation when you're having a long-distance YouTube golf relationship. James and I are going to sort this out. I'm sure we're going to be mates. Be sure to check out his channel. Share, subscribe, and like, lads.